I'm doing a simulation here. If you are E3, E4 with dependents in the state of Hawaii. Now, if you wanted to reach out and figure out how this would work if you're in another state, you know, and one of the other states we're licensed in, of course, we can talk about this. If you're at a base in Texas or going to San Diego, of course, we can talk about this. Now, I wanted to show you this at only a E3, E4 level because that's only a small percentage of the military. It's likely if you're watching this video, you're actually higher ranking than that. If you're up to the 05 level, your BAH in Hawaii is about $4,003 as of January 2021. So this simulation here, we're looking at, shout out to MBS Highway for putting this together. And if you want to do this personally for your particular situation, of course, reach out to me and we can look at your situation and see whether it makes sense for you to rent or buy while you're at your next duty station. But using your VA home loan benefit, a BAH of 2823 with an interest rate of 3%, that's not an interest rate quote. Interest rates are actually lower than that on VA loans right now. However, I just wanted to be conservative when I'm talking about the loan product. 30-year fixed loan, that 2823 payment would be enough to get you about a $599,000 home. So there's a myth here that homes are too expensive to buy in Hawaii. However, if you only spend your BAH, it's the same thing as moving on base housing. You know, you are spending your BAH in a home over the next 3 years and watching that home appreciate, and all you do is put your BAH into that home. So you're going to have property taxes, you're going to have homeowners insurance. We're on the left side of the screen here. You're going to have about $150 of homeowners insurance. And let's say the annual property tax increases 2% every single year. And let's say at the end of your 3 years of being here in Hawaii, the cost to sell is going to be about 6%. Okay, 3% for the buyer side, 3% for the seller side. Keep your eyes on the left side of the screen here. Don't let your eyes flow over to the right. We're staying on the left side of the screen. Okay, on a VA loan, 30 years at 3%, the loan amount is $599. You had a fixed 3%. Now, upfront MI, mortgage insurance. On a VA loan, you don't have mortgage insurance, but you do have a VA funding fee. Unless you're at least 10% disabled, okay, that funding fee is 2.3% the first time you use it, and it's 3.6% the second time you use it. Keep in mind, that percentage changes, so this is accurate as of January 2021. Then you're going to have closing costs. I can tell you that here in Hawaii on a $600,000 loan, the closing cost that we estimate here is kind of high. Usually we're seeing 1.5% on your closing costs, but keep in mind closing costs you do have to pay on a loan. So if you're moving here to Hawaii, it's best that you start saving some money, save up your dislocation allowance, save up parts of your TLA because you do have to pay closing costs on that home unless you allow us to cover it by taking a very slightly higher mortgage rate. You allow the lender to pay your closing costs. Reach out to me. I can talk to you more about that strategy. Let's assume you're going to be here, stationed here for 3 years. You're in Hawaii, okay? You're in Honolulu County. The historical appreciation based on this model is 4.78%. However, you should also note that last year homes appreciated here about 10 to 11% based on the neighborhood. And also next year, 2021, homes are projected to increase again another 10%. So this historical average of 4.78% is extremely conservative when we're talking about what's going on here in Hawaii. Federal tax rate of 22%, and let's assume that you're married with dependents and you're going to file jointly, okay? Now, let's look at this. Let's assume that you bought in year one. If you bought in year one, note that your monthly expenses is fixed at $2,823. Now, if you rent, every year your rents increase. So from year one to year two, there's an increase of about 3 to 4% on your rent. So your rent is not the same when you leave here as it is when you start your tour here. If you account for that, just by buying a house over 3 years, you're paying out $101,000 over the course of 3 years. That's how much an E3 or E4 with dependents will pay out of their pocket in 3 years of paying rent or living in base housing here. No, sorry. If you rent, you're paying out $106. If you buy, you're paying out $101,000. Renting, you're paying out $106,000. Okay. Note here in this chart over here, what this is showing you is every single year your rents increase. So from year 1 to year 2, and from year 2 to year 3, your rents increase at 3 to 4%. If you had a mortgage, your payment is fixed at $28.23, okay, at the amount of your BAH. So this is just showing you that rents increase over time. If you buy a house, it stays the same. Just comparing this $106,000 to this $101,000, you have a cash flow difference of $4,587. So you save $4,587 just by buying versus renting in cash flow. That home that you buy at $599,000 with a forecasted appreciation of only 3.3%, that appreciation, that house is at $661,000 in 3 years. Now we also have amortization gain. Amortization gain is simply how much you pay down on a mortgage while you're in that home over the course of 3 years. So you're paying down on that mortgage, and your mortgage is going from $599,000 to $560,000 over the course of 3 years. A home is a glorified savings account because part of your mortgage, part of your payment goes to amortization or paying down on the loan, and part of your payment goes to interest. The part that goes to paying down on the loan, you get back when you sell the house. The part that goes to interest, you get to write off on your taxes. This is what you don't get if you rent a house or you go into base housing. The cost to sell, we assume the cost to sell is 6%. At the end of your tour, you're going to have to pay 6% to sell that home, assuming you don't continue to rent your house. All right, now, I pause here to talk about my dual military couples. If you are dual military or both of you have a VA entitlement, you have a powerful, powerful wealth building strategy in the palm of your hands. And I'll show you that here quickly. But let's assume you sell your home at the end of 3 years. You're going to pay $39,000 in commissions. And even paying that $39,000 after 3 years, your net gain by buying a home is $39,564 because the house appreciates at $61,000, and then your amortization you're paying down on that home $38,000. So at the end of 3 years, you walk away with $39,000. If you rent a house or you stay in base housing, you walk away with absolutely nothing.